All right, so welcome to part 3 of the video series. So in this one, we're going to be focusing on developing that mind map based on our exam question. Now, just to backtrack a little bit, part 1 and part 2, those videos are already available. So if you need to go and view them, if you haven't already, or you need a refresher on what they're about, feel free to come back to this video, go and check them out first. Having said that, there's going to be a few requirements to this video. So what I need you to have is an understanding of the outline and explain 10-mark questions. So in video 1, we talked about this. We looked at the differences between the two 10-mark questions that you might get on, for example, a culture and identity paper. I need you to have chosen a 10-mark outline and explain question. I need you to have that ready with you. So that doesn't have to be from culture and identity. That can be from any topic you've done, as long as it fits the criteria of the 10-mark outline and explain. But for the sake of this video, we're going to be using a question that's from the culture and identity paper. And then finally, I need you to know the concepts affecting each other in your question. So for this question and example, we're talking about social class and consumption. Yours might be different depending on what it is, but I just need you to understand that with these types of questions, we're looking at how concept A can affect concept B. Okay, video objectives. So we're just going to make a mind map. It's going to be a really simple one. This is going to be more of a you stop listening to me and get on with the task rather than me lecture about information. A couple of things before we actually start though. It's really, really important. Do not do this in an exam or time conditions. You're not going to have time. You know that if you don't have extra time, you're going to have about 15 minutes to answer a 10-mark question. So you might then be wondering, well, what's the point in doing this? Well, like we discussed in the introduction video, exam success or doing well in an exam, writing a good answer, comes down to a few elements. Obviously, there's knowledge, subject knowledge, but importantly, there is timed assessments, getting comfortable with being in timed assessments. But the other part also is getting familiar with just writing answers, not in timed assessments. And sometimes what I experienced when I was doing the subject and what I've seen students experience is they see a question that they might have been able to answer before they were told that it was an exam question, and then suddenly they freeze. Or they second guess themselves. They doubt themselves. Is this the right answer? Is this the best answer? And sometimes the best way to get over that problem is to just write. And the easiest way to write is to be able to pour all your ideas out on paper with no consequence. You're not going to lose marks by doing this. This is just for you. And sometimes when we see how much we actually know about a topic, or how little we might sometimes know about a topic, that kind of tells us where we need to go next. Either take that step and write that answer, or we need to go back to the drawing board and do some reading. And it's better that we do this now than we do it in the exam, right? You can use your notes and resources as much or as little as possible for the mind map. I'll explain how I want you to do it in a moment. Have a few coloured pens or highlighters if possible, because you're going to be writing in different colours, or you're going to need to colour code things. And finally, it's okay to cross things out, add things, change your mind. This is for you. This is your mind map. We're not answering the question yet. We're just putting ideas down. Okay? It's really important. This is permission to mess things up. It's okay. So, this is the activity itself. We're going to create a mind map based on your chosen question. You're going to put the question in the middle. You can reword it to remove the outline and explain if you'd like. You're going to add potential points to the mind map in the following ways. And the points are going to be based on things that come to mind or that might help you answer the question. So number 1, it doesn't have to be in green, but I've just put it in green here. Points that come to mind straight away where you might feel knowledgeable on the topic. I want you to add these to the mind map first. You're essentially emptying your mind where everything that you feel comfortable with and confident in, you're getting it down on paper straight away. And you're putting it in green or in one particular colour so you can see where you are for those particular concepts. Secondly, once you've done that, I want you to add points that you think may help answer the question, but you're not fully sure. So you might not be fully sure because you know about the topic, but you don't know if it's relevant to the question. It might be that you've heard of something, but you're not fully sure what it means, but it might fit. You might have heard of a study that I'm pretty sure that it would really, matter to this, but you don't know enough details. Essentially, you're putting things where you may or may not write that in the exam, but you could if you knew a bit more about it or you felt more confident in it. And then finally, in a different color from those two, I want you to go back to your notes and resources, do a bit of reading on that topic based on your question, and then add any extra points you can. So what this allows you to do is anything that you may have missed because either you aren't aware of it, you'd forgotten about it, or you hadn't considered it, you can then add this in red or whatever color you'd like. The main thing is you need to be able to differentiate or distinguish between things you were confident in, things you weren't sure of, and things you definitely were going to put in had you not gone back to your notes. Okay. So I'll give you an example here. So here's the question that we have. I'm not going to do the mind map in front of you. You don't need to see me do that because, I am writing without meaning to. Okay. So you might just put, for example, I'm just going to write point A. So let's say point A I'm really confident in. Or let's say research. That's a terrible B. Research B. You get the idea. I'm just writing things down that, when you do it, it's going to actually be concepts and theories and whatnot. Oh, kind of showing you my mind map that I've already pre-done there. And then let's say point B there, and then finally, let's say concept C. Now, obviously, you don't have to name them A, B, and C, whatever. I'm just showing you the blend that you might have. So you can do this for theories, concepts, sociologists, research, real-life examples, anything that comes to mind, go for it. It can be as detailed as you'd like it to be, and there can be as many colours, the 3 colours, as there needs to be, as long as you've completed the mind map and you feel comfortable with it. So let me show you a real quick example of what one might look like. So I've obviously done this in advance. Don't copy this. This is simply just an example of if I was a student and I was answering this question, there are some things on here that I would put in green, amber, and red. So, for example, you can see I've got consumer identity in green, and then I've kind of gone a little bit on what I might know about that topic. Leisure choices I might feel comfortable with, financial differences, and then you've got some that I'm not sure, high culture and mass culture, work time commitments, and then we have things like conspicuous consumption, and then we have a study up here, and then we have social class expectations. What this allows you to do once you've completed it is see for yourself the areas that you feel, for you personally, you feel good with, areas that you might want to go and revisit, and areas that you definitely should go and revisit, even though you already have because you've put them down on a mind map. It's a very case-by-case activity. It depends a lot on the student, depends a lot on the question, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. We're just getting ideas down on paper. Okay. That's pretty much it. I would recommend you go off and do that activity before checking out video 4. Once you've completed this, we're then going to start looking at how we go about selecting our answer. Okay. So this isn't about selecting our points here. We've just got them down on paper, and then you can go forward in the decision-making process in video 4. If you have any questions about this task or any comments, or you need to talk to me about something, Outlook and Teams, we can arrange something. I can chat with you. Okay. So I'm going to leave you to it. Get on with that mind map, and when you're ready to move on, I'll see you in the next video.